That's why I'm here revealing, cause I really get it, and I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top, or you just like to lose. Make a move.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. Taken in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 22 yards there, a first down.
Here we go.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Bengals are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate. The always tough NFL.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
11.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mixon up the middle. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. A solid stiff arm. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see. Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit. Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going. Good sign on the opening drive. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter. And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw. Now Burrow on first down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt. For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack. Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner? Going for the deep ball. And it's intercepted. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter. I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Bengals, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season. And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner? Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They go play action now. Jackson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A first down carry for Henry. Bulldozes past him, and he's taken down inside the 30.
58 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson.
Throw right side here taken in by Bateman. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense, and that definitely points on the board.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
11, Thomas.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taking it around the 40.
A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Henry up the middle. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Steps away. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Jackson now. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Yeah.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jackson now off the bootleg. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Bengals.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
He will find his man Chase complete.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
On one, ready?
Burrow looking to pass. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
11.
On 2nd and goal, Burrow. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On one, ready?
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
To the air again, Burrow. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
DC, ready?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
A good gain there on 1st down. That run will get him 7 up to the 32-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Here's McPherson now to send it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Henry. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And some room to roam now.
99 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with it or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They go play action with Jackson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, and this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
138 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Inside handoff, Henry.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Third and 2, here's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Henry running right. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd and a yard, Jackson. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again to Henry. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT. 12, 12, 12. Stop.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go.
Burrow will throw. That is taken in by Hurst. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A good pickup there at 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those feet. Touchdown! Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Bengals are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line.
Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And now here's another interception. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, they run with Mixon. Powering forward. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
McPherson on for the point after.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
right side. Henry's got it. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On third down, Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Back to Mixon on first down.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bengals, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.